This next topic is brought to us by FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get in a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/UCSS. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Bull, I texted you this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's a question I want to ask the panel.
Yeah.
It's a question I can't believe we are asking for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Which team the rest of this season will end up winning more games? The Browns or the Guardians? If the Guardians win the World Series, that's a potential of 10 wins. The Browns have 12 games left. They could potentially win 12.
Well, no, the Browns could potentially win more than that because they could still win the Super Bowl.
You're right.
So the Browns could win.
And the playoffs would be included. So.
So the Browns could win 16 games still.
This is such an easy answer.
Yeah.
This is such an easy answer.
Is it, though? Because if the Guardians lose in this round, they might only win one more game.
Yeah, they're not going to lose in this round.
Okay.
And I think they're at least going to win one or two. Like, well, you're going to win two more, you win the round. But, I mean, if they win one more, I don't know if the Browns are going to win another game at this point.
They'll win some games.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So you're taking the Guardians.
Yeah.
Tyvis, so Dustin says it's a no-brainer. You with him on that?
No.
I've killed Tyvis.
No. Oh, my fault. I'm supposed to sit in the same spot. I apologize, Steve. Get the camera right. Okay. There we go. No, I'm an optimist. I can't lie.
Well, if you're an optimist, then you should think the Guardians are going to win. Are you only an optimist when it comes to football?
No, I think the Guardians. I like the Guardians' chances to win it all as well. But if I had to be slightly I just think the Browns. I think something happens at some point to where they start winning games.
So how many games do you think the Browns are going to win?
6 or 7 total.
All right, so you think the Guardians are not going to the World Series, which is not unreasonable to think they're not going to the World Series. But
they're winning this series, though.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
G, what are you going with?
I got the Guardians going to the World Series, but I don't think they fare well in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put them at roughly about 8 wins.
They have to win 6 to get to the World Series.
Okay, I got them in the World Series. I think the Browns win maybe 7 games.
So that's total or 7 more games?
Like seven more games.
That would be 9. That'd be
no,
8
no, no.
wins.
You mean no?
This team has no chance to win.
I got the Browns winning 7 total games.
Total games, so 6 more wins, and you got the Guardians winning how many games in the World Series?
1.
So the Guardians 7. So it's Guardians 7, Browns 6.
All right, there you go.
Bull, can I say one thing too? I mean,
Please, go ahead.
If the Browns decide to bench Deshaun Watson, I think I'd change my pick.
Yeah, I do too.
If they went with Jameis Winston, I would say that the Browns would win more games than the Guardians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
I'm saying. I'm sorry to cut you off, Adam.
No, go ahead.
I feel like now, the way that they're playing with Deshaun, even the defense, I think the whole team's bleeped up right now. They're just all out of sync, out of rhythm. There's nothing really that makes you feel good about the team. It's really frustrating to watch, by the way. I mean, that was torture.
It's awful to watch.
Did you guys mention it too? How long the game was?
Oh, my God.
I texted you guys.
Oh my God! Talk about torture.
I tried to get McNuggets to go early. I said, bro, can we go early with this? I'm downstairs in my basement. Daniels is on the sideline, like chilling, like, dang, bro, like, can we get this over? He didn't play the whole 4th quarter.
By the way, how impressive is he? I know it's only been a few games, but
crazy,
pretty good.
Oh my God! And some of those running plays. I mean, he just made the Browns look silly.
Well, you know what else too is that, like, at one point, guys, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but Deshaun Watson used to look like that guy.
Yeah.
And that guy ran circles around with Deshaun.
God.
Deshaun looks like he completely lost his twitchiness.
Yeah, it's like, man,
how does that happen? He's still pretty young.
I have no idea.
I got a theory. I have a theory. I've been cooking up. I sound like Jason Lloyd.
Yeah.
I've been doing it.
Isn't that another show?
I'm working on a video. Jason Lloyd is working on the article. You always
Lloyd's sick, by the way. I heard him with the Morning Boys today.
Really?
Jason?
He was
Jason sounded a little under the weather. I don't know.
My theory is this: when you take, I think the year and a half, almost 2 years off. Sometimes the game come at you fast. I think he lost. It's almost like being, like kids play football, right? And they, when you're growing up and you're doing your thing, and the kid says, you know what, I played in 8th grade. I don't really want to play. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, he's like, hey, I'm a sophomore. I got a couple inches taller, a little bigger. I'm going to play now. And then he gets there and realizes that everybody else was lifting weights for 2 years. All the kids you used to pick on is fast as heck now, and the speed of the game is just different. And then you try to go in your bag of tricks and do the same thing you did. Yeah, when I was in 8th grade, I used to run around and run around and dip around and run away from people. Now it's defensive ends that's like, I'm faster than you. You used to be, no.
See,
I think he lost that.
That comes from the fact that, when you're young, he's seen a lot of success young by doing what he was doing, doing the Clemson offense, doing the spread and using his athleticism. As you get older, your body don't do the same, so your mind gets better. Your knowledge of the game gets better. Your anticipation gets better. And I think that's the part that hasn't been trained. And the only way to get those things that's a lot of mental reps. When he was sitting for those years, I know he was still doing like practice squad stuff with Houston. He just wasn't playing in the game, but he was like scout team quarterback and stuff like that. Then when he missed the years, like mentally, you have to be going through the game to where it's like, all right, there's no reason that he's played this long and his clock isn't fast. His processing is this slow. Like, you should be able to boom, boom, boom. All right, snap the ball. All right, boom, that safety's down. All right, this cover 3. I know I'm working here. Boom, boom, boom. What's my reach? Like, you got to go through it like that.
It's
and
tough.
if the fact that it is taking you to go, boom, I'm staking my drop. Okay, now I see it's cover 3. Oh, snap, I missed Coop. I was supposed to Ben had the ball out. I done missed Coop. What's next? Oh, snap, now I got to take off. Like, that's too slow. It's got to be like boom, 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 and it's not going that fast, and I think that's why he's struggling.
And the bad part is, if that's never been your strength,
why are we doing it now?
How can you count? You can't count on it now, does it?
Yeah.
That wasn't at your best, you couldn't do that, right? And I think, people always say it. Athletes Jaden Daniels is so fast that he looks like he's walking out there. He would look like he was in shorts and shells, just walking past me.
Did you see the play Lamar Jackson made for the touchdown to Likely, the second one, when he I forget who
he ran to the sideline and threw.
He's got the DN bearing down on him. He somehow kind of pushes him off. He strolls. He's pumping. He's pumping.
Sam
and he
Hubbard.
points to Likely, and then he's hit. Deshaun couldn't make that in his wildest dreams.
No. But see, that's the thing. He used to.
That's what's so like.
He used to. And in his mind, he still think he can.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
In the red zone, the one pass he threw to Judy, that Judy dropped.
That was a dime.
It wasn't the Lamar play. It wasn't that level.
Lamar play was insane.
But it was, once again, one of those 1 or 2 plays throughout the game you see that looks like vintage Deshaun. He escaped the pressure, stepped up in the pocket, ran to his right, threw across his body, hit Judy in the hands, and Judy dropped it. But it happens once every 50 plays, and you can't win games when you get it 1 every 50 plays.
To answer the question, I am absolutely taking the Guardians. I said before the playoffs they're going to win the World Series. I'm standing by that. They will win 10 games. The Browns will win 4 more games this season and finish 5-12. So I'm taking the Guardians. By the way, on an unrelated note, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, who you got?
What do you mean?
It's 1A, 1B, dude.
It's tie.
Yeah, I mean, do you want a Lamborghini or a Ferrari? Pick one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both awesome.
I was debating it with somebody the other day.
Tie.
And I was
Doesn't
curious.
matter.
You're all on the fence. You're all fence riding.
If I take Jamar Chase, do I get Joe Burrow? I think that matters.
Yeah, fair. But Sam Darnold, I mean, how about it? What's worse? What's worse, being a Jet fan and seeing Sam Darnold and Geno, or being a Browns fan and seeing Baker and Flacco?
I don't know. They both suck. I mean, both scenarios suck.
Yeah. I think it's worse. I actually think the Jets is worse because I think Geno and Darnold are playing even better than Baker. And Baker's playing really well.
Really well.
But I think Geno and Darnold are playing even better than Baker.
See,
and Flacco's old. I know he's playing well, but he's old.
And I like with Baker, I always tell people like this, even with Deshaun Watson. Sometimes, like when you always is quarterback number 1, you don't never reevaluate your game because you got to have such a mentality as a quarterback that you're the best and you know it. I'm the CEO. I know I'm nice. You don't never reevaluate your game till you hit rock bottom and people not calling you, and then the offers is for peanuts, and it's like we'll bring you in as a camp arm to see if you got something. Then it goes, well, hold on. It's the same thing happened to Baker. They just get up and be like, oh, so I'm not that dude. And then you got to really get to the lab, and you got to be like, yeah, you're right. I might want to throw on time. I might, because I ain't going to have an opportunity to be running around here trying to extend these plays. So you look at Sam Darnold was taking L's. Geno Smith took L's. He even got his jaw broke. That's crazy. Like the L's keep coming. But those guys were able to rehabilitate their careers because they had to go back to the drawing board. And Deshaun Watson, it may not work out for him here. If is a big word. If he gets another opportunity somewhere.
I don't know that other teams would even entertain it at this point, just because not because he may not have, like, he may have upside still if he goes to a different system, but I don't think another team would want to have anything to do with the baggage.
That's the if. Like if he gets
he's
another
not good enough to be signed with the baggage. He's not.
Right.
So, it takes quarterbacks. Sometimes you get a shot, sometimes you don't. But it takes quarterbacks to hit rock bottom to reevaluate the game.
And that's what we said. And who knows? Listen, 2.5 years ago when the Browns made this trade, if you would have told me 2.5 years later that Baker Mayfield was way better than Deshaun Watson there's no even debate on that, there was no way I would have ever believed that. I would have ever believed that. The Baker Mayfield playing right now in Tampa we never saw this player here. Now, maybe he would have become it. We'll never know.
No,
I think he had to hit rock bottom.
Well, he did, though. I mean, Carolina and LA for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He had that great comeback.
Yeah,
with
the one
Raiders.
great game with the Rams.
Yeah.
But besides that, he was a disaster.
Goes to Tampa. And by the way, Tampa was in a rebuild after Brady.
Yeah. But the one thing they had, 2 great receivers.
True.
That's
he's making Mike Evans look incredible.
And they have great chemistry. Mike Evans is,
He's awesome.
Mike Evans is an
He
all-timer.
walks into the Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So, and Chris Godwin, kind of under the radar, very good receiver. And what can you say? I'm not knocking Baker at all.
I'm actually pretty happy for the guy.
I'm happy for him, too.
You know what he's doing? The biggest thing there that he's doing, and we'll see when it comes to the big moments and the big games, because that's where he's not done well overall.
Exactly what you're going to say.
But what he's not doing now, which he did all the time here, even when he was playing pretty well, is he threw a lot of picks. And he's not throwing the picks. He's not turning the ball over.
So, I was actually going to say his attitude.
And his attitude
I think he's been a lot more humble down there, too.
Yeah, he got humbled. He got humiliated.
Yeah, I have to say.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
The humble he needed to get humbled. It's happened, and now he's a better player.
Right.